We're going back to Worlds.
Worlds? What?
So before I left for
Nothing
Worlds, we talked about how Worlds was going to be a little different this year compared to previous years. First off, massive lack of depth at the top end of the competitive spectrum. I mean, like, out of the 80-something countries that were there in 2015, 9 countries were responsible for 2/3 of all medals, and none of those 9 countries were there this year.
Is that all for drug stuff?
All for drug stuff. So all of those countries were banned. And off the top of my head, I don't know what all 9 of them were. I know it's like Azerbaijan, Armenia, China, Russia, Kazakhstan. There's a handful more. But those countries were really kind of pushing the envelope when it came to, being the best in the world at weightlifting.
What training and
probably because they were on probably because that's what happens when you're on fucking steroids all the time. And so we came into Worlds this year, and really it is about the countries that show up and the countries that compete. So it wasn't really that big of a deal that they weren't there, because that's just the fact of the matter is the way it is now. But USA did like astonishingly well. Which is good.
Yeah.
So
it's really good.
Medals for Americans?
Lots of medals.
That's weird.
I mean, we got
paying attention at all.
Harrison Morris
double bronze he got, right?
Got double bronze. Matty Rogers got triple bronze.
Nice.
Had the opportunity to get a bronze and 2 silvers, but there was just whatever. There was the mistakes made on the announcing her attempts. If she had taken certain attempts earlier or later, it would have changed the outcome of the scoring. Anyway, and then Sarah Robles, triple gold. Swept gold at Worlds. Massive achievement.
So the people who beat her at the Olympics, the North Korean and the Chinese,
were not there.
were not there.
We're not there. And the men's team took 7th overall.
Dang.
The women's team took 2nd overall, which I'm pretty sure has never happened before.
Well, it's the combination of, I guess the women's team for the U.S. is a combination of 1, not steroids, perhaps,
True.
And 2, having women's rights. So if you have so if you have those 2 things together, we're right at the top,
right at the tip top. Because you're not got quite a few competitive weightlifting countries when you add women's rights into the mix.
And it wasn't like just because these certain countries didn't come, Worlds wasn't exciting, or it wasn't as like crazy to watch some of these lifts, because even at the highest end, like Lasha's weight class, that was absurd. That whole time I was like glued to my phone because I wasn't there physically, so I only had to go by like what Armen was sending me, and I was losing my mind.
So the what he's referring to is the last session of the competition is a super heavyweight men's session, and the men's session at the super heavyweight men's session at Worlds this year is probably one of the most exciting sessions in like all of weightlifting history. There are a few that top it for sure, but this one was really good, and there was a few things leading into it. One was nearly every competitive super heavyweight in the world was there, outside of 1 or 2 Armenians and 1 or 2 Russians. So
their steroid bans for these guys had been lifted the previous year.
Yes, Lasha had come off of his steroid ban early in 2015. And God, who else? I don't think anybody else.
So all of the medals they got this year will be taken away 2 years from now.
Maybe.
Correct?
I don't know. 6 years from now, 8 years from now, eventually. So either way, we had a couple really crazy storylines. There was like the Olympic rematch between Lasha Talakadze and Badad Slimi from Iran, where Badad Slimi was big baby Badad, and he got his last lift overturned and then sat down on the floor just like crying while Lasha like took his medal from him, which was awesome, really fun to watch. But the Iranian entire country of Iran just lost their fucking minds over it. Like blew up IWF's website, like hacked their website, went and added like 2 million comments of like.
And why did he get his lift taken away?
At the Olympics, he pressed out. So you have to when you jerk, you have to land and have your elbows already locked. You can't land with the elbows bent and then press it out overhead. So he pressed out, and then the referees gave him the lift, gave him 3 white lights.
Yeah.
The jury took it away.
Yeah.
So that's why they're saying it's political.
Uh-huh.
So that was a rematch. And then another thing that happened was we had a bunch of really talented super heavyweights come in this year. Like another Iranian guy named Saeed Ali Husseini, whose drug ban just recently ended. He was banned for 8 years because he's the junior world record holder, and he got caught twice in 2 years, twice in like a year and a half as like a youth,
8-year ban,
as like a kid, and he got an 8-year ban, and he just came back.
That is a lot of cycles under his belt.
I mean,
last 8 years.
Yeah, he has just been juicing hard for a decade, waiting for this moment.
It's incredible. And so he came back, and he was super fucking strong. Who else was really strong? Fernando Reyes, or Reyes, however you pronounce it, from Brazil. He's a big cuddly teddy bear. He's a badass. Paulo Silva's cousin. Yeah, let's see who else was there. There's a lot of really Mart Syme, a lot of really. So either way, the men's super heavyweight was like this crazy world. Nice. And on top of that,
Fresca.
we had just seen Lasha snatch 220 kilos, fucking 485 pounds. We had just seen him do that at Georgian Nationals, and we're like, what the fuck? That's the only time.
He's like ATL in the house.
It's the first time he's ever done that in.
Dumbest joke.
It's the first time that's ever happened in competition, and then he did it at World Championships, so it was an official world record.
Yeah.
So that was pretty awesome.
He just made it look so easy.
Cracking up at your own joke.
That was the biggest thing.
Can we do something about this jackass, please? Can you take another point away?
I've lost another.
That's a good point.
Unbelievable.
Lost another point. It was a good point. It was a good point.
He's actually at 4 now. So
wow, a 7-point swing. Kyle is now in the lead.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
All right.
So yeah, it was really exciting. We saw Lasha set 2 world records, record snatch.
Hey, we got somebody from Georgia actually watching.
What's he saying?
Yeah.
Or she?
Which one?
I cannot pronounce your name, and I'm super sorry, but they
Probably
just said, I'm from Georgia, ha ha ha. I think that means they have the best supplements there.
I bet they do.
Probably.
I bet you get some awesome supplements there.
Either way, it was pretty gnarly. In fact, we saw not just like a rematch of the Olympics, we saw a replay of what happened, which was Badad Salimi walks out for his first clean and jerk, gets 3 white lights, and then gets it taken away from the jury. Comes out for his second clean and jerk, nails it.
Yeah.
Comes out for his third clean and jerk, gets 3 white lights, gets it taken away by the jury. And then the entire Iranian fan, like the Persian fan base that had migrated over from LA to Anaheim to watch the country lift, just lost their fucking minds and just started booing constantly. Didn't let the other lifters, lift in silence. And so,
also, what he slammed the bar basically from overhead, which was
for sure.
Yeah.
He definitely, there's nothing political about his third lift being taken away.
Yeah.
His third lift, not only did he press it out, but he also dropped it from overhead, which is against the rules. You have to have your hands on it until it passes your shoulders.
Interesting.
Not cool, bro.
So
not cool.
So he broke it. He broke 2 rules.
2
rules in the process, and then the entire country of Iran lost their minds again.
Yeah.
So Lasha set the world record total.
Yeah.
With a bunch of Iranian fans booing him.
And this will be known historically as the moment that Iranians finally had a grievance with the West. And this will radiate through history.
I mean, we had an opportunity here to really kind of put some of our conflicts to bed.
So the Georgian guy won.
Yeah, he did.
And he won, and he had a 485-pound snatch.
Yeah, he did.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like it because it's the most.
Yeah.